Welcome back, Daily Show. I'm still on vacation, and we have more great conversations. Mike Walters is the new chair of the Madison County GOP. This follows the recent exit of Miles. And, you know, Mr. Walters, Mike, really excited to have you into the studio today and really just getting a sense of where you're feeling ahead of the midterm election here in just a couple of months. Congratulations, first off.
Thank you, CJ. And before we go too much further, congratulations on your upcoming wedding. That's wonderful. And having grown up with your family, I know it'll be a long-lasting marriage.
Thank you.
So you'll be good. Back to, it was interesting because they asked me to do this, and at first I kind of didn't really know if I wanted to, and talked to my wife, and she kind of was the one that goes, you should do that. You like politics. You've been out of it for 4 years. Why don't you do it again? So I said, okay. So I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. And it has been a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, in the evenings, I have my day job and I have an evening job. So luckily in my evening job, I can get some things done while I'm working. And the people that I work with are great. The precinct committee people are just wonderful. The elected officials that we have. I mean, we're fortunate in Madison County to have some of not only the best elected officials, but then when you look into them as actual people, they're just above reproach, and they are just outstanding individuals. So we're lucky.
Well, and I think that it's such an interesting, position for you to be in, especially now, because, you hit on something there, and that's the people aspect of it. And, at the end of the day, everyone's working towards the same goal. They might have different ideas and avenues and how we get there. But, I think that's such a really good component of that, is to go towards that, personal side and just realize we are blessed with great people across the board, really, in the county. And, now that you get the call and say, hey, Mike, we think you'd be perfect for this opportunity, and they get you to do it, was there anything on the front of your mind that said, here's what, we'd like to see in the next couple of months, ahead of the midterms, or here's what you'd like to accomplish for the team here?
Well, I definitely want to keep going the way we've been going. We've been winning. As you know, we have the supermajority. We have all of the elected officials, and the Democrats had that for 84 years, and we've taken it over, and we got to keep that going. One thing that I've told a lot of people is we have to not only focus on the local races, the county, like we have the county clerk's positions coming up, and we have Senator Harris's race and Representative Alex, although we're not worried about that, but you can't ever take anything for granted. But we need to start looking at the local races a lot more, because we have a great bench, but so did the other party, and then they lost sight of that, and then we started winning locally, and then all of a sudden we started to expand our control of different entities. So I really want to start focusing not only on what's coming up, but then next spring we have the local elections. We have trustees, aldermans, mayors. Mm-hmm. We need to look at that. School boards, which we have been that's not our strength, is getting elected on the school boards and library boards. We need to start getting people involved that believe in what we believe in.
And I think it's so many people want the title position so many times. You always think, well, I'll be mayor, or I'll be this and that. But, from a fundamental standpoint, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, as local as you can get, I would assume it's the best that you can be, because the more that you have right here in your own backyard or down the street, it's a lot easier, I think, to get some work done for what you guys want to accomplish, too.
Oh, absolutely. The local ones are very key. People forget that. They see the county board and they're like, oh, you guys are doing a great job. You're keeping our taxes low. You're running it ethically, morally. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. But then they forget when their local elections come, because obviously those are in the spring and people kind of fall asleep, and you can't do that. And I'm not blaming anybody, because it's something we were focusing on, is getting the county, and now we have it. Now we have to go back and get a bench for us for down the road. And the local ones, you control a lot. And as you said, the people that get in it because they want the title, obviously those aren't the people you want in your elected positions. You want somebody that wants to do the job, and do the job for the right reasons.
Well, and it's really just such a fascinating time we're into. And I've asked a couple of people this that are candidates that are already on county board seats, and Do you think that with it being a midterm year and it not being a presidential election, that it does affect, GOP voters with not having a Donald Trump on the ballot? I know it doesn't affect, it's not like, he's running for state senate, but does his name carry weight to get voters to the polls?
Well, his does in our area for sure. I can't say it does in the state of Illinois,
Okay.
especially up north, but in our area, definitely he has helped carry some elections. Now, he's not on the ballot. Is that going to hurt? Some. And off election years, the Republicans are not really well known for getting out and voting. So that's another thing we have to work on, is explain to them every 2 years you have a congressman or woman that in your area you need to get out and vote. If you don't, well, we could lose the House, and we don't want to do that.
As you're getting ready to start really gearing up to the full swing of, summer kickoffs and everything else for the general election, I know that, right now a lot of it looks like, Representative Ellick should be looking pretty comfortable at this point for November. Who knows what next month brings anymore?
Right.
Is there any race that you want the voters to kind of keep a close eye out for, that you'd like for them to maybe do a little bit more digging on?
Well, definitely we're looking for Senator Erica Harris. She has a tough race. She's in what most people would consider a Democratic-leaning district, and Erica's done a fabulous job. She represents the area. She is one of the best people I've ever met, and she generally cares about the people that she represents. And having been a lobbyist for 22 years up in Springfield, that's a very rare thing in these days.
I wanted to ask you, too, before we take a quick pause, if it's okay, with the Republican primary the last in March, do you think that affected the clerk's race for the general election, having that primary? Would you have liked not to see the primary happen? And do you still think that the current clerk, Linda Andreas, is looking good for the general election still?
Well, I think you have to allow people to run.
Yep.
And that's one thing that the Republicans have always been about, is allowing people to run. In the perfect world, we don't want any primary. We don't want to have primaries, but that's not the way it goes. Does it hurt? Usually it does hurt the party, but Linda's looking really good right now. We're really excited, and she's got a lot going for her. So we think she'll win again in November.
You got a moment to take a quick break with me?
Sure.
Let's do
Absolutely.
it. I got to pay a quick bill. We'll come back with more of this great conversation right after this. RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark Paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
If you think you might be pregnant, you don't have to face it alone. At Vitality Women's Clinic, you'll find the care you deserve. We offer confidential, no-cost pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, and STI testing. Our team is here to listen, support you, and help you understand your options without pressure or judgment. Walk in or make an appointment today. Call 618-466-1690 or visit vitalitywomensclinic.org. Vitality Women's Clinic, clear answers, real support.
Welcome back, Daily Show. And with the new chair of the Madison County GOP, going back into this, is it normal? What happened? Is it normal to have that kind of short of a chair-led party, or was it just kind of a situational thing that happened?
It's not usual. He got a promotion with Congressman Bost, and it took away his time. So, you can't blame somebody for taking a promotion, and that's what he did. And he's a great young man, and he did a great job for us.
Well, and I think it's really cool for you to recognize that and also say, hey, keep up the way that we're doing. And I think also the most important conversation I think we've had was about, where the Democrats were in the county just not even barely 10 years ago at this point. 2016 happened, and 2018, and all those the waves came. But to really recognize that at any time, if you guys aren't, doing the political due diligence and doing your work, you could lose that in the next couple of terms if you aren't really mindful of it.
Oh, absolutely. You can lose it. And they lost it. I think everything really went bad in 3 election cycles, and that could happen. Now, I do believe that the people of Madison County have seen what the Republicans are doing, and they like what we're doing. And they, again, as we talked earlier, we talked about this party and how it has gone completely to the left, so much so that I can't foresee that if Rick Fass and a Bill Hayne or a Dan Beiser would even be welcomed into that party anymore. So,
you can make, a lot of people could make that correlation. And on the flip side of that, too, on the Republican side, just seeing how things have changed, traditionally it was, let's not really look at, communicating with the unions, let's just keep moving forward. And now, I don't know, it just seems like the last 8 years, there's been this shift where maybe let's start approaching the unions. You saw it with the presidential election, right, especially. Do you see that there's an opportunity for the GOP here locally in Madison County to not necessarily just, take the Democratic playbook of who to call to or what phone numbers, but of being more adaptive to maybe just the traditional sense of a GOP, core value or core supporter?
Well, I like that question because I believe that it is time for the Republican Party to reach out to the unions and talk to them. Find out, what do we have in common? Because I believe we have a lot in common. We believe in bringing jobs back to this country. Well, who's going to work those jobs? Unions. Mm-hmm. So, but we have to do a little bit better job of getting that out to the union heads. And we do believe that the unions themselves are pretty much pro-Republican. It's the leadership that we have to reach out to and talk to, and we have to get a good understanding between us and them as to what we can do to work together. Absolutely.
One thing I was curious about, and this isn't, me putting my opinion out there, case that someone goes, CJ, your thoughts are coming through. They aren't. There's, the No Kings protests, or, what they're doing in downtown Alton and in Edwardsville. Does the party ever have a conversation? Do you guys worry that, there's a momentum there with, not necessarily if their numbers are growing, but there's been a lot of effort shown to, voice their, disapproval or protest. Does that carry over? And do you kind of worry about maybe just the wave of emotion, bringing more voters to their side than what you guys are going to in this election?
Well, again, free speech is one thing, but then when you drive by and you see the 4-letter words that are on their posters, and young kids are in the car and, asking, Mom, what's that word? What's that word? That does not help them. Yeah. That actually weakens them. If they would actually come out and they could explain what they're protesting about without wanting to hurt somebody that's interviewing them or push them around or blow whistles in their ears, they might actually could pick up some steam, but the way they're doing it, and to be very honest with you, it's not there's a lot of people out there think that there's somebody paying these people to show up, and there's actually been people caught on camera saying that, they're getting paid to be there.
Well, and that's more than, fair to make that, assessment there. And, as we're wrapping this conversation up too, as you're looking ahead and you've had your time in the political sphere and now that you're back, did you ever honestly think that you'd be coming back into a political role ever, or were you kind of cool with what you were doing?
No, I was kind of enjoying myself, and then my wife said, go back to work. So I went back to work, and then I love politics. I mean, I grew up with a father that was involved in it, and he actually had my position about 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the only thing he told me really when we talked politics, he looked at me and goes, Michael, don't ever become the Madison County Republican Party chairman. You will hate it. and then this happened, and I'm like, so I was telling my family, I said, well, Dad's rolling over in his grave because I didn't listen to him. The only piece of advice that I never took from my father, and I blamed some of the countywide office holders for asking me to do it. So.
What's the best way for a potential voter to get more information on county GOP and how they can, maybe join up and help out?
Well, if they want to, they can always send an email to myself, and that's waltersmike1811@yahoo.com. Mm-hmm. Probably shouldn't put that out there, but and I can get them into the right areas. I was just elected last Wednesday, so I am on the process of learning a lot of different things and what I need to do and what they expect of me.
And you only have a little time to do it,
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming by. And if you ever have anything else to share with us, the seat's always open for you.
Thank you, CJ.
We'll take a quick break. My vacation shows continue right after this. RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
If you think you might be pregnant, you don't have to face it alone. At Vitality Women's Clinic, you'll find the care you deserve. We offer confidential, no-cost pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, and STI testing. Our team is here to listen, support you, and help you understand your options without pressure or judgment. Walk in or make an appointment today. Call 618-466-1690 or visit vitalitywomensclinic.org. Vitality Women's Clinic, clear answers, real support.